Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Pat Barrett for the first time. Pat, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Looking forward to fight night. Lyndon Arthur is, of course, the main event this Saturday night on BT Sport against David Ferracci. David Ferracci, a unbeaten fighter. How much do you know about him, and how much have you had to prepare Lyndon for it?
Well, you know, it's been a good ride. We've done a lot of work down at Golden Gloves Boxing Gym. Wayne Smith works with us, got sparring down there, and we've had a good camp, good preparation for it. So yeah.
And in terms, obviously, he's an unbeaten fighter. That brings its own challenges. He doesn't know how to lose, neither does Lyndon. But what is the different mindset when it comes to David Ferracci? He doesn't know how to lose, and that's something that Lyndon's going to have to get over.
I think that's at the world level, though, isn't it? I mean, you find people at that level which suit us, because, to be quite honest with you, we've always trained like coming up from the bottom, like it's world title fight. We've always took every fight. I've always made my fighters take fighters and treat them with the greatest of respect, yeah, and take them so seriously that we work on based on their styles and everything else. So David Ferracci would be the same kind of thing, where we look at him with the greatest of respect, yeah, and we're treating him like he's the most dangerous fighter in the world. Yeah, and that's all our mind is working on right about now. So when we fight someone like that, we're going into this very cautiously, very wisely, very cleverly, nothing stupid. Yeah, and most fighters, when they like their own fighter, they overlook their opponent, and it's all based down to expectations. They all think they're going to knock them out. They all think that they're just going to fall, but you don't get an undefeated fighter like that. When we do it, it's do it because we've worked hard. When we step up in level, it makes our mindset change as a team. All three of us, we work totally different. You know, I can phone Wayne and he'll tell me, look Pat, you might have missed this out. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll ask Lyndon, what do you think we need to work on? We work on it, we go in the gym and work on it. So we're a good, formidable team, so yeah.
I saw an article the other day saying that Lyndon Arthur is the best jab in boxing. Do you feel like Lyndon's jab is his best asset, and his asset which could carry him to world title glory in the near future?
I think people are overlooking talking about his jab. I think what you've got to realise, to have a good jab, you've got to have a good mindset. You've got to know when to execute that jab. Yeah, you don't just throw a jab. The jab is about time and it's a rhythm. Yeah, and not anybody can just have a good jab. Your jab can be taken away from you if you allow it. Lyndon's very skillful, very talented, he's got very good footwork, he's got very good distancing, he's got a boxing IQ that makes his jab very good. Yeah, and the more he believes in it, the more he creates it. A jab is not just something you do, you create it. It can also be a jab, it can be a weapon. Yeah, and as you go along, now we start turning that jab into a weapon. A left jab, you can stop a man with just a left jab. You can mark him up to death. Yeah, right about now it's a good jab. I don't want a good jab. I want a great jab, yeah, and that's what we do. We polish it up, we make it stronger, we make it better, along with his ability. Yeah, we keep manufacturing it. So where people expect and rely on this good jab, they're forgetting he's got a brain, he's got an IQ, he's got more than a good jab.
You talked about not looking past Saturday night, but yourself, Lyndon, Frank Warren, have you had discussions? Have you plotted possible plans for what could be after for Lyndon Arthur?
Well, as the question keeps asking about Anthony Yarde, it's not something that we're not going to do. It's something that we are going to do in the time that Anthony Yarde can pick himself back up. Because, you know, Lyndon should fight now for the world title. After maybe this and maybe another defence, this is where we're at now. Yeah, and we talk about a world-class jab, we're talking about a world-class fight. He's still learning. There's still plenty of things for him to learn. There's no rush. But I want him to have these kind of fights, these learning fights, keep stepping forward for what he's been trying to achieve throughout his career. Not to be taking him back down to something that you've already done. How many fighters go back, beat someone and go back to fight him again? For what? What's on that? You don't have nothing. Yeah, it's all about what we've got, and we want to give you another chance to try and take what we've got again. We've done that the first time. We was the champions the first time. This is what everybody seems to be forgetting. The WBO was vacant, yeah? We was the Commonwealth champion, okay? So we ended up fighting for the Commonwealth and the WBO, and we won it. and nobody can't deny us it. Okay, so we just want to move on now. Yeah, and Anthony Yarde can be fought. Yeah, but I think, would you not agree that Anthony Yarde used to build his career back up? You can't just come off 2 defeats and then want to fight us. Because we've already beat you, Coloros beat you, you've done nothing since then, but you just want to fight us while we're fighting undefeated fighters and going on. Please.
Completely agree.
So what happens when he beats him again? Where does Anthony Yarde take his career? I know it's not my business, but the other question is what his team should be asking. He'll have to rebuild completely. Right now,
he ain't got to rebuild. Once he beats him again, his career's going to be finished.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because he won't just beat him, he'll stop him.
Of course.
Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to say. And all we're going to say is, we come back to do this, what we know we was going to do, and we denied ourselves a world title. When we could have fought for the world title and then defended it against him. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
I don't want to come back to do something what I've done before. I want to move on and keep looking up.
Definitely.
100%. Just go on to another of your fighters, Pat, Zelfa Barrett. I mean, what's Zelfa been doing recently? Is he back in the gym, ready to get that next fight date?
Zelfa's back in the gym. I mean, he's just gone through a tragic loss. He's just lost his mum, yeah, and only a few weeks ago. And his mindset to make his mum happy. He's fighting on for her, like he has to do it for her. And we're so much like each other. So, he's out in Mexico soon in August, and he's got his first fight on a big television show over there. And it's good to see him doing that, and it's good to see him, doing it for his mum. And I'll always make sure that he keeps that memory going. I always make sure he realises that he's just gathered another angel looking over for him. So yeah, Zelfa's ready to go.
It's good to hear Zelfa's doing well. Just again touching on Saturday night, I mean, we've talked about Anthony Yarde. Lyndon Arthur is the main event, of course, this weekend. I mean, how much of a positive is it that he is the main event, he is the main star on Saturday night? How much positive do you take
the main
from
event?
that?
I'm sure last time
Do you know how many times I've heard
I'm sure last time we was up here,
that was
the main event.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah. No, it's good to see that he's main event, and he is the main event, and everybody needs to realise that he is the main event. We're not sharing him the card. He's the main event. It was the main event last time when we won, yeah, and we didn't feel like it. It was the main event this time, and next thing we're on the press conference. But that's all water under the bridge. Everybody will recognise and know who he is after Saturday.
Talk about him being main event. Do you feel like he's the main man with Frank Warren now? You saw them having banter up on stage.
You know what? Listen, like I said, we're not going to talk about what he's been. I think Saturday night will show exactly what he is. You don't get a fighter like this. Fighters like this are very hard to come by. You got to go back 30 years to find fighters like this with that kind of ability. You know what I mean? So.
And just the final question to you, Pat. I mean, you're a superb light welterweight in your day. Josh Taylor is the king of that division at the moment. What do you think Josh goes on to next, and can you just put his achievements into perspective for you?
Really great fighter. I think he's very good. I think he's excellent. It's nice to see the light welterweight division. But I think he'll probably fight Crawford, and I think that will be a really, really good fight. I mean, really good. It's just a battle of wills for that fight.
Well, give us a prediction. Who do you think would win?
I don't know. I would not like to say. I think they're both great fighters. I like them both actually. So it's just going to be one of them, which is a tough fight. Tough fight for them both.
100%.
But I wouldn't have no predictions. I can only predict about Lyndon.
Which is?
I win. Saturday night, knockout.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, both of you. We'll see you on Saturday night.